help you?
Hey, Alonzo, it's John Serpico returning your call.
Hi, John. How are you?
Good.
So,
Some questions?
yeah, I had a couple of questions. We had met a while back at BNI and Juniors, and so I know that you are definitely helpful in giving presentations and things of that sort, and those are also things you like to do. Are you able to operate or advise in Connecticut as well?
Well, I'm admitted in Connecticut, but I'm not active because I don't
Okay.
do any work there. So I don't, and then I don't really know Connecticut law because I don't practice there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm now the real estate attorney of the group. Maureen Pritchard is the estate planning attorney, but I don't think she's admitted in Connecticut either.
Okay.
Or at all. Do you want me to seek out a Connecticut person? You want to do a presentation in Connecticut?
Yeah, so what it is this. I don't know if you're aware of, the news and things that have happened in light of the past few weeks. So my goal is this, sort of as an activism approach. I don't know if you heard of recently the young woman who was shot by police officers in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
So my goal is, as an African American who was a victim of gun violence and is now in the insurance industry, I want to partner with an estate planning attorney and explain the full the full picture of what an estate plan looks like and how affordable it can be to the African American community who's underserved. Knowing this, because
Absolutely. Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done seminars at some churches in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And people don't have access to legal services. I mean, they may have a house,
Exactly.
or cars, they have a pension, but they don't, sometimes there's broken marriages, there's an estranged husband, they're not divorced, they don't understand that if they don't have a will, their property's going to go to this other person that they are estranged from. I deal with court cases and surrogates. I mean, I have one right now where this woman wasn't divorced from her husband. They didn't live together for 30 years. She dies, he gets half the estate. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. So, no, I totally understand that. And the other problem I think that is out there is a lot of people put relatives on the deed to get the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin Alice is going to help out because she's got good credit. She goes on the deed, the person whose house it is dies, Alice gets the house, where Alice has a share or ownership.
Yeah.
So I agree totally. They're underserved. And, God, there's some simple things to do. You do a will, but I charge $9.50 for a will, healthcare proxy, power of attorney, living will about end of life treatment, funeral disposition form. That's simple. You put those things in place, and everything's taken care of. Try to address every problem. We do deed transfers so that they don't have problems after death. So I agree with you so much. It's so important. And then the other problem I have, I don't need to go on so much, but
I like it.
In the last year, oddly enough, I had these situations where the parent died, no will, the kids inherit it, and there's one kid who's incompetent or disabled or on public assistance. Now they've inherited a house, right? They could lose their benefits. On top of that, they may not be competent enough to sign documents, so we have to get a guardian appointed. I mean, so those are the three things. One is just, broken families. It's so simple just to have a will. The deed issues, people just don't think about it. They get the mortgage and think, they'll worry about it later. And especially the one where, there's incompetent kids or kids on public assistance, just putting their share in trust saves the money. They don't lose the benefit. So these are simple things. And I think the big thing is I need to explain it to people. I think once they understand, it saves them a lot of grief later on. So, yeah, I agree totally with you about all these issues.
Okay, beautiful.
And they're simple. They're simple things. You don't even have to set up a trust today. A trust is $2,500.
Okay.
And you have to transfer your house into it. But you just do it in your will. Just say, look, I don't want any kids of mine who are on public assistance or are incompetent. I'm going to put their stuff in trust. The money gets preserved for that person. And they don't lose their benefits. So yeah, I'm so in sync with you on all that.
I'm so happy about this. So yeah, and I also do I'm licensed in New York as well. I just moved from Brooklyn back to Connecticut. I'm born and raised in New Haven. So if I have business in New York, definitely. Well, when I have more business in New York, I'll definitely send people your way. I do, in fact, have a client who is a relative of mine who I would love for you to speak with. So what I will do is forward you his contact information.
Okay, yeah.
And then forward him yours. In our business, all too often people say, "Oh, I'll give the client your number," and then they never call us, which is why, you know. And then they need us, and then they need us when it's too late. My mom died. Can you help me transfer the deed now?
Yeah.
Well, now it's done.
Well, she's about to go in a nursing home, and she has a house, and we want to protect it.
Yeah.
That's even more so the case. And I'm a big believer in life insurance. I mean, it's so cheap,
Yeah.
term or whatever, and they're good investments, annuities. People, they need to do some planning. So I'm a bit advocate that people should have life insurance, especially if they have minor children.
Exactly.
Or a mortgage. Like they don't leave behind, saddling their family with the mortgage, and then they have to sell the house.
So I do all of that as well, mortgage protection, buy-sell agreements. I also do a fixed product that's tied to the S&P. It's an index universal. So that's a beautiful product, and I think it's affordable. It's a little more robust than your regular universal life, but the beauty of it is you can actually, build wealth or build income and protect wealth. And I have a client who I did one a few years ago with. She worked for the MTA. She bought a house for $547,000. She was 44 at the time. We set her up with a policy that was $1,800 a month, of which was an increasing death benefit. And I made sure that it doesn't modify endowment contract out or it doesn't mech out. But anyway, after 20 years, she stops paying the life insurance policy. She has enough to pay off her mortgage, saving her $500,000 because you pay the interest. And then she's going to stop paying the policy. She'll be 65. The policy will pay $65,000 a year to her for 12 years, and then she doesn't have to touch her MTA pension until she's 71 and a half. So,
And it's MTA, but anything like NICERS, like the teacher's retirement, they're getting like 7%
yeah,
on their money, so she could leave that there.